Of Up and Adam, presented by Sandvold and Associates Financial Services Group.
Good morning, Twin Cities. Adam. I'm Jack Tomzak. That's Andrew Lee.
Good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody.
This hour, we'll talk with our economist, Dr. John Spry, about a new way to fund college education, and he will defend Democrat State Senator Terry Bonner from the vicious attacks by the Star Tribune that she is a tax cutter.
Don't be stupid.
And from Americans for Prosperity, Jason Flores. Also next hour, Congressman Tom Emmer. Now in studio, state Senate candidate, one of our listeners running for the legislature, Mark Koran, who is the endorsed Republican candidate for the seat currently held by State Senator and friend of the show, Sean Nenow.
Correct.
All right. Let's get to it first. Who are you and why are you running?
I'm, of course, Mark Koran. I'm a local resident of Lent Township and just north of the city, about 40 miles north, and very active in politics ever since I was a young person, and conservative about fiscal responsibility, but also individual accountability.
All right, what do you do for a living?
I sell payment processing services into government.
Oh, thrilling. Tell me more.
It is exciting. But with my background, I also spent just under 18 years with the Minnesota Department of Revenue and actually helped create all the electronic filing payment solutions in Minnesota.
Okay.
Back in the late 80s. Don't want to date myself, but and so it gave me a great understanding of government and the business model, the good, bad, and the ugly.
Okay, so you've got a little bit of insight into how at least that part of the government works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or doesn't.
And that's the other part. When you get close enough to it, you understand that it doesn't work in many cases.
What were some of the more frustrating experiences that you had with working and dealing with government in a business capacity?
Being on the other side in the
Sure.
business capacity, much like I discovered on the inside, is that there are very few people, or we don't have an environment that fosters expert level program management within those fields. Government within itself, if you study it as a business model, and luckily I was able to, one, participate in it, and two, be able to study all aspects and see it come from a full life cycle. And what we don't have is the model where you foster expert level knowledge. That business model is the only business model that we have that can only do less with more every single day. And that's because it's the only business model that we have in our society that can attempt to comply with every rule, law, regulation, policy, whether it be official or or not, that pertains to the physical structure of a building that somebody has to work in and or the personal work environment. You know, the private sector doesn't have that luxury. They have to worry about a bottom line.
The business what you do now, is it your own business?
Nope. I work for a large financial institution.
We just got done talking about the IRRRB and how they have managed to urinate away just tons of money. And that's something that a private business can't do because then the private business isn't there anymore.
There's a corrective action.
Yeah.
Right.
Imagine if Giants Ridge were a privately held business. It would have been out of business over a decade.
It would have been privately held by somebody else very quickly after you've wasted all that money.
Yeah. Right. Pick one. Pick a government-owned, government-run, managed business that is successful or profitable. And it's not designed to be profitable, but I think the actual overall model should be that
at the very least, efficiency. You know, I mean, I understand the government is not there to run a profit. It's not designed to be profitable. And you don't want a government that's set up that way, honestly, because, you know, the point is that it's supposed to do things that the private sector has no interest or profit motive to do.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Now, so you don't want it to, but it should at least be efficient. Yeah. There shouldn't be so much waste and so much graft.
I'll lower the bar one more. If they just gave a damn. That's all I want. I felt bad about wasting the money. That's fine.
That's the part that's a challenge because there are no correctional behaviors or actions that can take place, right? If they do less, they need more money, right? Or they do less, or they cut the program. We see everything that critical programs are cut all the time, right? And we do those in politically motivated, right? Those that touch us the closest, police and fire, we touch those first. Those are actually luxuries that citizens want, if you're, quote, going to have a luxury. But that's, if you really understand the model, I'm a big private sector guy, that I think any services that should be delivered, once you decide you should be in that business, or it's a government service we decide as taxpayers that we want, I think the private sector should be the delivery of those services.
Yeah.
And what we should have is a program where the government manages the programs, fosters and educates and hires for expert level knowledge holistically from a program perspective. In my business, it's understanding information in its full life cycle. From the consumer side, the large multinational corporations, what it does and how it impacts them, how the agency receives that information, what they do with them, because it drives all the other behaviors within the agency. And those are the types of things that don't happen. The biggest risk on our side when you sell into government is in a lot of, and you see this publicly, a lot of them will go after the private contractors that you see today because of failure to deliver or the program design. Well, the thing is the private contractor doesn't do the design. They don't do they do the design. They do the delivery of the service and product, but the decision making is still at the government level. When you don't have broad program knowledge, your ability to make good, solid decisions that will then be efficient and wise are not there. And so who pays for that? One, you automatically target the contractor, but two, there's no corrective action besides we need to add more money to the pool, and we need to continue on even though the bad decisions have been made.
Yeah. So what makes your story interesting is that you got the endorsement over a sitting Republican, Senator Sean Nenow.
Correct.
And this was on a Tuesday night?
It was a Tuesday night.
That's a weird time to hold a convention.
By the way, Tuesday night, 3 weeks after caucus, and you understand that process, right? Mm-hmm. So we effectively had 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks to actually know and understand and have the delegates get an opportunity to learn who the candidates are.
Okay. What motivated you to run against a sitting senator? Many people who are contemplating a run for office will say, well, as soon as so-and-so's done, I'll give it a shot. Very few people will challenge somebody from their own party.
Yep.
And it's not like Sean Nenow's a squish at all.
Would agree. I would agree. And this isn't a personal issue. Mm-hmm. It's about and our voting record, right? There's nothing you can complain about that. Mm-hmm. But he's put himself in a position that I don't think he can win. And it's not just me. So for the last couple of years, I've been asking who are we going to run because I think the seat's at risk.
Okay.
Right? We need to retain this seat. That's why we're here. And you don't take these things lightly, right? They're very highly disruptive in your life, and it takes a commitment. But much like you've been in this business a long time, is that we don't have the opportunity to turn off paying attention to the life events around us.
Right.
We want to make sure that we're in a position to retain the seat and that we can help the Senate retain the other or gain the other 6 seats to take back the Senate.
So that's Chisago County.
Most of Chisago County and most of Isanti County.
All right. So is Doubt one of the reps?
Doubt is not. Nope,
He's
Doubt's
not.
in 31.
Just next door. Okay.
So Brian Johnson and Bob Barrett.
So that's reliable Republican territory, is it not?
It's good Republican territory.
And you thought, given Senator Sean Nenow's financial struggles that have made it to the paper, that would make him beatable?
Absolutely. They ran a good candidate. We know that the DFL, with no other state races going on, they have a lot of money they'll put in there, and they know if Sean's there, that they know they can beat him. And it's not just me. You don't come to these decisions lightly. Mm-hmm. There are a wide variety of people in our community who sought and strongly encouraged me to run, and that's why we're here. And it's a difficult position because, just like you said, why do you think you deserve to be here? And so that's been a number one question from everybody there, and it's our process. So I think we should have more contested races to make sure that we get the best and the brightest representing us.
It's certainly good to hold people accountable.
It's tough to get the endorsement over incumbent. What do you think were some of the key points of differentiation that you brought to the table over Nenow that sort of gave you the edge there?
I think I have a broad support. I talk and work with everybody in our community. I don't care what party or what side you're on. I have my strong beliefs, and anybody who knows me understands that I'm a conservative Republican. But we worked really hard, in spite of the endorsing contest being, highly compressed. The entire process is highly political, and everything was stacked against us. We worked extremely hard. We door knocked. We did our marketing. We did everything we can. And when you look at it, not only did we win it, we won it strongly on the first ballot.
Wow.
You know,
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah. So, and I think when the story came up originally, when you were trying to figure out which Koran or Koran.
Because there's the mayor of Oak Grove is Mark Koran, a friend of mine. I was like, I didn't know that was the same district.
Yeah, many thought we were one and the same. We're not, or that he just changed a vowel to run in a different county.
Yeah, I don't know which one of you should be more offended.
I'm not bothered by either, but it's so that's what brought us there, and I think. One of the other things that was interesting is how did we pull it off on a Tuesday night? Well, I have to give a shout out to Chisago County BPOU is that they are a highly organized group, and we actually deployed technology. So our caucus registrations, our enrollment, our delegate sign up and registrations, all automated. Within 20 minutes after caucus the next night, they had all of our caucus attendees and information done. We had our enrollment, on the night of endorsement, all automated. Simple check-in process. And in fact, the best benefit, and we were probably the first county in the state to actually have our state delegate election at our convention done via a mobile device. So we pulled off 2 votes for both the delegates and the alternates in 25 minutes.
Wow.
With no prior training.
You guys like to run Minshew?
Yeah, we would like to just get rid of Minshew.
All right. Is this going to a primary with the senator, or is he abiding by the endorsement?
You're going to have to ask him for that.
Okay, and I will.
My biggest challenge is that, as a new candidate, you go through a variety of vetting processes and procedures, and part of the endorsement process is something that we all want our candidates to abide by.
Okay.
And we addressed early on in the race that I would abide by it. And unfortunately, we could never get the senator to answer that question, period. And if you're confident in your abilities, you should have no problem in your reelectability. You should have no problem abiding by the endorsement process.
Well, I have to abide by our break time, so we're going to do that. Your website is markkoranmn.com. That's Mark, spelled the traditional way, KORANMN.com.
That is correct.
All right, best of luck to you. We encourage folks, if you are interested, to check out your website. And thanks for listening to this show, and good luck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, when we return, John.